And President Aquino has ordered an investigation into the Commission on Audit findings that about 515 million pesos worth of the controversial Priority Development Assistance Fund were coursed through an agency under the Office of the President. According to the COA report, the amount was allocated by 2 senators and 38 former and incumbent members of the House of Representatives to the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos in 2012. The funds, however, ended up in 18 foundations and non-government organizations, some of which were linked with alleged pork barrel scam mastermind Janet Lim Napoles.
Even before we get their answer, I want to make sure exactly what went to whom, and why was it coursed through the NCMF. Perhaps there's so many things actually in government that require my attention. For instance, over lunch we were talking about 7 different topics at the same time. Now, yung NCMF, the primary issue has been, number 1, if you remember, yung EO2 was questioned, and eventually it went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court eventually remanded it to the Court of Appeals, and the previous chair was kept in her position even beyond her term.
Yeah.
Until the Supreme Court and the CA allowed us to do so. Okay, and upheld. Yung parang EO2 was upheld after the term had finished, yung chair. Okay. Now, during that incumbency, and practically every year, there are issues with regards to the Hajj.
Yeah.
And that has been the primary focus about the NCMF. They have been assisting also in the peace process. To be perfectly candid about it, there are so many functions embodied in their charter, which I reviewed today, and I was not clearly aware or immediately aware that they were a conduit or an implementing agency for various PNAP projects. So I want to get as thorough knowledge as possible, and I've directed the concerned individuals, specifically the Executive Secretary, the Secretary of Budget and Management, and the Cabinet Secretary to submit to me a thorough report on this particular issue.
Sir, did you give a timetable for them or a deadline for them to come up with your report?
Well, I told them I need this as soon as possible, and I want it as thorough and as complete and as correct as possible.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, RJ. Thank you, Mr.